Hi everyone, we're moving on to our next topic, which is this. So control we're looking at now, within this reality of self, that control of experience, emotion, thought and behavior is believed possible and necessary. So today we'll just look at that as an overview, and then we'll spend the next few days looking in more detail at it. But it's the self, we could say, I think, that the self exists as an agent, as an apparently as an apparent force that can control that. So the self arises as the idea, I'm the one doing this. This is me. I'm making this behavior happen. I'm the one creating these thoughts. I'm the one experiencing these emotions. I'm the one having these thoughts, and I'm the one believing this. So, I mean, that just sounds totally normal and natural, doesn't it? My beliefs, my thoughts, my experience, my behavior. And we really are, in this one especially, going so against what the self depends on for existence that it can almost be unhearable. This it can if this is going in and meeting a self concept, it pretty much has to be pushed away, because for the self, if it's not the thing that is doing anything, if it's not the thing that is making the decisions and making the listening happen, making the seeing happen, then it can't exist. And it believes it would be nothing without this agency. So all the time, we see in this conversation how all the time we keep coming back to either this, I'm in control, I'm the one doing stuff, or I'm not in control, I'm just letting it happen to me. And it's like we actually can't quite let go of the I in that is somehow either controlling or not in control. And what we're looking at, which is so subtle and quite hard for it to emerge, is that in the moments when there's no self-reference going on, there's no sense of anyone doing anything, there's life is dynamic still, there is still existence happening, and all the mechanisms of life are happening, the processes are happening. So there's dynamic existence, there's dynamic change, there's dynamic activity. And in some moments there is no self there saying I'm in control or I'm not in control. There's just what's happening. And so what this conversation is saying is that those moments are the reality. Those moments are the actual truth, just this dynamic flow of information and transformation and activity. What's not real is the interpretation of it, is the commentary over the top, is the idea of a self that is somehow an agent in any of that. And that's enormous. That's enormous, isn't it? Because it it just takes the floor away from our idea of ourselves as an individual with decision-making power, controlling what's happening. It's enormous. But the more that's seen about the belief and thought created nature of the self, and its and its absence of any solid um, actual substance, the more this conversation has to be considered as really viable, really a real distinct possibility that there is no individual self controlling any of it. Oh, and it can, then that can, of course, it can take us through this, well, what the hell? It's just fate, it's just destiny. I'm just like a bit of wood being tossed around on an ocean. There's like things just going to happen to me. But it's the same thing. So just as there's no self controlling, there's no self that anything can happen to. There just is no, there's no self agent. So this is big. So I'm just going to leave it there. Leave that with you for it to settle in, see where it goes, and then over the next few days we'll start looking at that in a bit more detail. Right. Okay. Big love. Bye.